Okay, have you been considering purchasing a home in Canada or Alberta? You're going to want to check out this video where I go through the 5 pros and 5 cons about real estate investment in Canada specifically. My name is Karen Stanko and I'm with Remax Real Estate, and I've been a full-time realtor for 18 years. If you are thinking about purchasing a property, which area do you always think about as the best investment? Historically, it's been in bigger cities such as Toronto and Vancouver, but that is shifting as there's different other cities throughout Canada that are coming into play as some of the most affordable cities in North America and in the world to live in. Edmonton specifically, Calgary was named as that, Winnipeg. Number 1 con out of all of the 5 cons is that CMHC and Genworth is the mortgage insurers, and they control all over Canada, insuring all sorts of mortgages. During that time, they come out with different national mandates to control who gets mortgages and who doesn't. The main issue that I find, it's a blanket policy that affects all of the markets. No problem with you. You think you're a cash buyer and you can circumvent that. Some of the companies like TD, they still use CMHC to back insure a mortgage. Also, there are a lot of different, and that will move me into number 2, now cash purchases. Cash purchases now have a lot of different specifications and issues that come with it. If you're purchasing from out of country, there is now a new foreign ownership bill. Now, with that comes a lot of ramifications where they're trying to limit foreign ownership. This is because in Vancouver and Toronto, the property prices have exploded into all new highs, making it unaffordable for the average person to purchase. So the Canadian government is pushing back with this foreign ownership bill. So you have to prove why you want to buy in Canada and make it your home, which is a little bit different than what we had in the past. So the Canadian government historically is always pushing bills and different policies to try and control Vancouver and Toronto markets, and then sometimes markets like here in Edmonton or Calgary, they get affected negatively. Another con, number 3, the weather. The weather in Canada is pretty harsh, so if you are thinking about moving here, there are different places that are a little bit more temperate. So we do have pretty cold weather. Typically, we're 6 months of winter and about 2 months of summer, and the rest of it is probably winter too. I'm just kidding. But if you are thinking about purchasing an investment property in Canada, you're going to want to know that. Now, most of the more temperate climates is where the real estate prices are quite high. So we're talking Vancouver, Vancouver Island. Toronto does have a little bit of warmer climates in Ontario, but that's where our bigger populations reside. Con number 4, taxes in Canada are quite high. I'm in Edmonton here, and our property taxes for a $500,000 home is around $5,000 to $5,500 a year. That's pretty significant, whereas in Calgary, only 3 hours south, the taxes are $1,000 less, so you'd be paying $3,500. What do you get for these taxes? Well, sometimes I don't even know. There is a lot of spending that is sometimes a little bit silly depending on which city you're living in. And also the federal taxes can be quite high depending on whether you're an entrepreneur or what sort of business you are running if you are thinking about relocating in Canada. Number 5, cost of living. Cost of living has always historically been quite high in Canada, typically because of our services, also because we are an import-export for a lot of things. For instance, different types of foods. Traditionally, back in the day, we never had access to bananas or pineapples in the winter. So because we are importing so many foods, you're going to find that your cost of living is significantly higher. Now, let's go to some of the pros on real estate investment. And I would say number 1 of your pro is definitely going to be the affordability. Canada, and specifically Edmonton, Calgary, those were named most affordable city to live in. So if you are thinking about investing and living here as well, we have great prices on properties. For instance, in Edmonton specifically, our average home price is around $367,000, whereas you compare that to Vancouver and Toronto, you're looking at about $1 million. If you're looking really to be affordable, you can move to the Maritimes or into rural Alberta, where you will find a little bit more affordability but less amenities. So it depends on what you're looking at. Number 2, Canadians are very welcoming, so if you are thinking about moving to Canada, you will find that most people are very helpful. They always say that Canadians are always apologizing about everything. Except for our hockey teams, where there should be no apology whatsoever. But we are very nice people specifically, which is quite funny, and we're known around the world of being nice people. So we are pretty friendly, we are very multicultural as well. Number 3 pro is the yard space that you will find in a home. If you're coming from England, where you're crammed into smaller city centers, or Europe, you will find that the expanse of space is quite lovely. And if you are raising a child, there are plenty of parks and walking trails and different things in most communities throughout Canada. Number 4 for a pro would be our national parks. They are our national treasure, and they are stunning, and people from all over the world come specifically to visit our national parks. So we've got UNESCO World Heritage Sites right within our backyard. There's Banff, and we've also got Jasper. Banff is only 1 hour in Lake Louise from Calgary. So we've got tons of parks throughout all of Alberta. Number 5 is our natural wonders of Canada. We've got the Canadian Shield. We've got so much diversity and a huge expanse of land. We've got tons of fresh water, we've got parks, we've got so many different wonders that you can just drive from different ecosystems. We even have deserts in Canada, which might surprise you. So if you are thinking about making the move to Canada, or specifically Edmonton, I would love to be your realtor resource of choice. My name is Karen Stanko, and I'm with Remax Real Estate. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel or comment below and see what other kind of videos I can make for you. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.